from willowing.org or Willowing Arts. Hi guys, I've got new hair. You can't really see it very well. This is also the widescreen stuff. Anyway, basically I've got dreadlocks and I am loving them. And I'm trying to go further out. They're not finished yet because it's really messy up here. They're not finished yet, but it's generally good stuff. I'm enjoying it. Anyway, that's not what this video is about. Just wanted to say hi. I haven't been on my YouTube channel forever, and I'm so sorry. I can't seem to find the time to do anything but run my courses and things like that. But today, oops, let me sit here. Today, I wanted to talk to you about journals, and about journals, the kind of journals there are, paper, what my favorites are, what I don't like, what I do like, what the problems are, and I'll show you some flip throughs of many of my old journals. I've got about 1 million journals. Look, I've laid them all out here for you. Here are lots of my older journals. There's a pile there, there's a pile here, there's a pile there, and there's some stuff on the floor that I want to talk about as well. Because I get the question, I get the question a lot, what kind of paper do I like? What sort of journals do I use? And over the years, I've got quite a bit of experience now. I've really kind of built up some experience. So I've been journaling since about 2005 intensively. Before that I used to work on canvases more. So that's about, 2005, that's almost 10 years. Wow, that's amazing. Anyway, that's long. So I thought I'd do a little video, free video for all of you to enjoy about journals. Yes. Okay, so I've laid this out to start with, because if you wanted to just skip all the all the words and all the intros and all the blah blah blah, then I will tell you that I have still not found a journal, an art journal that with paper, with my favorite paper basically. And my ultimate favorite paper of all time, as many of you know who come on my courses, is extra smooth, hot pressed watercolor paper. It's 140 lbs or 300 grams per square meter, is that? I don't know. The size is not relevant. By Dylusions, and it's called the Langton. Dylusions also do a paper that is simply hot pressed. It is not called the Langton. I'll show you actually. And it's good, but still not as lovely as this paper. Hold on. And sorry. So here, look, this is Dylusions watercolor paper. It's also hot pressed. Yeah, it's 100. Everything is the same apart from the fact that it's not extra smooth. Now I hear that it's hard to get this one in the States, and it's not like a special. This particular one is not especially like rare or anything, or I don't know why they don't produce it so much. It's just coincidentally, this is what I found in my local art store, and I've just so far in my working on watercolor paper career as an artist, this is my favorite type of paper. Some of them come close to it. So any other hot pressed paper, this is also cool, but it's slightly more grainy again, and it's fine. It works fine. It's not, you know, in any way like makes a major difference to this one. But if you were to ask me what ultimate favorite paper have you got, it's this one, okay? Now, I'm not saying that's the only paper you can use. No, not at all, because this is my personal preference. And I use it, any lesson you see that I do on any of my classes I do on this type of paper. It's just my most favorite paper. And there are, like I said, there's some that come close to it. Like there are some smooth, hot pressed papers that are fairly similar, but they've got either another type of grain or they have a bit of fabric, so they're slightly made differently than this one. So I always come back to this paper. Now, this paper, it's all cool, nice and well. Oh, look, it's empty. But it doesn't come in journal format. So I am forever on the search for a journal that has basically paper like this inside. And like I said before, I found a few that come very close to it, and I'll show them to you in a moment. But none of them so far have come close to my own bound journal. There's one journal that I made with this paper, and it was awesome, and I loved it, and I'll show you in a second. But none of the journals I've ever come across have this kind of paper. Some have hot press, definitely, but not exactly this. So anyway, I wish I was going to make a personal appeal to Dylusions and ask them if they could use this exact paper and make it into a journal. Because I buy all of them all the time. So anyway, so that's just my intro to paper, and just wanted to share that with you, because that's just, you know, you could basically, if you know that and you want to, and you know how to bind your own journals, you can just use that paper. If you wanted to do, you know, if you wanted to do my thing, because everyone's paper preferences are different. Okay, so I'm just sharing with you what I like, but you might not like. Okay. So this is more of an infomercial on journals, and you need to just take it or leave it, and not take don't take my opinion as gospel. Go and experiment with your own ones and take it into account, maybe my comments. Okay, so the first journals I want to talk about, the journal brand I suppose I want to talk about, is the Moleskine, Moleskine, as many of you will know. Familiar with. They're very popular. They're very popular journal or sketchbook, and they come in. It comes in a variety of shapes and different papers. Oh, these are all Moleskines. Don't worry. I won't go through every one of them. Some of them are similar. They're mostly similar to each other. So I'm just putting them all. Just kind of looking at which ones I've got. Okay, so this is one of my. Actually, yeah, okay, we'll do that. So, working in Moleskines, if you're working in this size, which is the A5 one, there's a variety of types that this size come in. So they have different colored labels, and each label represents a different type of paper. So this is a journal I did in 2007, yeah, 2007, and I don't know if you can see or you picked it up, but the paper is incredibly thin and does not hold up well to heavy watered media or glue, you know, like glue and watercolor paper, watercolor paint. Now, I was like, I don't care, I'm doing it anyway. And I managed, but yeah, I mean, if you know my work, I mean, I do now a lot more, like this is not a very intensely wet type of work, though this is fairly wet. And now the work that I do now I couldn't do it in this journal. Anyway, look, I did like collage in here, and here there's a bit of gesso under that, I think, and it was okay. But I also glued, so I would do art on a different page and then glue it in. So see, this was done on a different page, like a proper watercolor page, and then I would glue it in. So my comment on the thinnest, I think is the green label, the thinnest paper in the Moleskine, is that it's much more for non-wet media, unless you gesso your pages. If you gesso your pages, you can do wetter media on it. And it's more for sort of sketches, literally like drawing, and maybe use some wax crayons, a little bit of dry acrylics paint. That all works well. This is quite dry acrylics paint, you know, and you can kind of, if you try and avoid the kind of really heavy water-based stuff, you'll be okay. But it starts to buckle. Your paper will buckle, and it'll curl and over, you know. But it's fine. Look, it's amazing. I love this journal. I've still got it, so it's still fine. It's good, but some of the pages stick together. So and I did a lot of, as you can see, it's all collage of photos, and you know, I didn't do too much heavy layering, for instance. So you can use that thin, that's the green label, and you can use this. You can do this kind of thing on the thinner paper ones. Okay, but if you want to do heavier stuff, you can just layer, like apply gesso to get your pages a bit stronger. So this is one of my thickest journals that I did I challenged myself to do a journal entry every day in 2007 and managed, but I didn't even completely finish it. There was 2 or 3 pages left. Oh, cool. So, now, in the same Moleskine, look at this, the elastic has gone out of it completely. So in the Moleskine series, here's another Moleskine, the same size. I think this one has got thick, this is, perhaps, is it? Yeah. So this is the thicker, this has got a sort of a yellow card feel to it. It's not very thick. I don't like it, basically. I mean, it's okay. I don't like this kind of paper because it's not really watercolor. It's not watercolor paper, so it doesn't really absorb like watercolor might. But I have worked in many of them. Look, see, I do work, one of the Crooked Birds was created in this, because it's good for playing. So if I want to really do nice work and I want to make sure, you know, like a proper painting, I would do it on the strong paper, and then I will really withstand it. This is good for like, oh, I'm going to try that out. Oh, okay, and then I faff around and might use a bit of gesso, or I might kind of, you know, it's really playing. It's better, compared to the thinner page, it's better for because it's stronger, so it's thicker, but it absorbs the paper really a lot differently. So I am not a big fan of this, but other people are, you know, so it's a personal thing. The other thing again, you know, any page that you work on can be made stronger and sturdier with a layer of gesso. But the problem with gesso is if it dries and you put graphite on, it's very hard to erase. Though I hear there are erasers that will take it off like gesso. Okay, but this is just an example of the thicker card one. It's okay, you know. Like I said, it's all right, but I don't like card personally. So, and this feels like card to me, you know. And as you can see, I have worked in it. It's fine, I can do it, but it's not my preferred paper at all. It's funny because even though it's not my preferred paper, I often come back to it. Now, just a side note. Oh, sorry, this one here is similar. So the cool thing, I think that's the card again. But the card this was an older. I think, look how yellow this is. This is an older version. I think most can have updated their type of paper. So this is a very old one. And I only kind of used it for kind of little playing and didn't actually do my here. I used it as for demonstrations and stuff. And it's really cool. The nice thing about the Moleskine is that they've got the strong cover and you can kind of decorate it if you want to as well. So that's very cool about the covers are very nice and strong. Now, they've also recently, more in the later years, they came out with these thin, I'll show you these ones as well, hold on. They came out with these thinner, larger books, which I love, larger books, and still on thin pages. So they've got, I don't know what size this is, but it's larger than the A5, and the page type is the same as in the very thin, oh, this one is I did for Art, Heart and Healing. So, and what I used to do is I used to glue pages together or something, because I thought, oh man, it's way too thin. Oh, this is okay, so I see. And it goes through. So again, these kind of pages, if you wanted to do heavy wet work in them, you really want to layer your page with gesso or something, or glue your pages together so that it gets a sturdier thing, because it will disintegrate really quickly under your heavy wet work. And as you can see, I'm not working much in these. I mean, this one I got, oh yeah, this was nice. I did do a lot of work in this one. Quite a bit of work in this one, actually. You might know, yeah, these are, and I can feel, as I feel it, there's a lot of gesso on these pages. And kind of, yeah, so a lot of layering to make and this was glued together. These pages here are glued together, I can feel that. So I did need it to, and here, same story, thick glue together. So I really had to adjust the pages, here again glued together, and layered. I know that there's definitely gesso on many of these pages. And the nice thing about these journals is that they're larger. So I enjoy the larger size of them. There are so many unfinished pages here. And here you can see actually this is all, actually it comes through, so that's the other frustrating thing about this type of paper. It just seeps through, you see, if you do any kind of wet work. So, but anyway, so they are interesting. These are interesting journals that you can kind of play in and just make the pages sturdier your own way. Because these are good and porous. The thin Moleskine pages I like from the porousness. What is that word? I don't know. But the thicker card ones are not so porous, so I don't enjoy that. But that's, again, it's a personal thing for everyone else. So, anyway. So those, these brown ones are the same, I don't think. I think in, oh, here I started one on this one. And that's it. I don't tend to continue on with these because, I don't know, I lose interest in them. I did a bit of, oh, this one is completely empty. But they're lovely, you know, you're just lovely to hold, and you you kind of just want to do something with them. What did I do in this one? Here. Oh, here I did some pencil sketches are perfect for these, and writing, you know, a little bit light, a little bit of light. I have it upside down now. A little bit of light paint, but here you can see how it's buckling. So I did a small amount of wet work on the front, not much, and it buckles straight away. So yeah, and here this is one, you know, pencil sketches are perfect for these, and then writing. So that's, I use them, then ideas, you know. So those are all the kind of not all, no. So Moleskine also do. Sorry, so Moleskine also do watercolor ones. 2 or 3. And they do these tiny little ones, by the way. These are the very cute little ones for like on the go. Also the card. It's cardigan, and you know, like I said, I used it on the train when I used to work in London, and you know, just did sort of writing, and oh yeah, I was trying to do all kinds of little, like working through stuff, you know, personal stuff with Baron Katie. Oh, I got the little cappy. Writing and drawing, but only like, I mean, this would be able to take more, definitely. This can take more water, but again, it's cards, so I don't really like them. Anyway, so those are the little ones, and then these are watercolor Moleskines. Oh, sorry, this is really quite old stuff, so I can't really. Yeah, this is watercolor Moleskine, which is better, but watercolor Moleskines are 90 grams and not 140 or anything. Oh, what a cutie. Oh, I thought this one was sold. Funny. Anyway, I just like seeing all my old stuff. CSR cut. So anyway, so these are definitely stronger. These are good. You can definitely work on these, and then it's okay. But the problem with these, again, there's always a problem, is that they're landscape. Look, they're not this way, and that's the problem. I don't like that. I wanted portrait, and I could go landscape if I wanted to, you know. So that's another disappointing thing. What did I do here? So I started to kind of try and do it that way, and then I was like, it's too large. It's like panoramic, you know. I like that, cutie. Okay, girl. So yeah, so those are and these also come in large. I've got one really large one that I can show you, but it's on the bottom of somewhere, so sorry, I'm not going to show you. But basically these also come in like 16 by 14 inches now, but I haven't even worked in it. So it's another now, just wanted to talk to you about just random journals. So those are the Moleskine ones, and I will talk to you about the ones that are coming close to my ideal ones. But before, when I just started out journaling, I would just sort of randomly go into a shop and just, you know, get a book that I like the look of. I'll show you now. And sorry, here. And this is really cool. I was just looking through this, and I love this. It's really old work. This is from like 2006. Yeah, 2006. And this paper is one of a picture of my hand before it was still normal, when it was still normal. Anyway, so these pages are a nightmare. This is made of that, like, I don't know how I have to explain it. It's like there's it's almost fabric-y based, and it really absorbs the colors, like everything. It just sucks it up. And though this is a really lovely, I really enjoyed making these paintings. The vibrancy, it didn't keep the vibrancy of the colors here. This is actually glued on. A crazy face that I once made. And this is a photo. I sort of did it as this was first a sketchbook sort of thing. Here I did collage. It worked okay, but basically this is more of I think this is meant for like gluing photos in or something, or just writing. And I started doing art in it, not knowing that much about paper, and that the stuff that I did was more suited to watercolor paper, really. that point I was a bit more like, la la la, faffing around. Anyway, these ended up, look, these are actually done on different types of, more like copy paper almost, from a printer, and then glued into the book. Not everything, some pages are, some are not. And that was because I was like, okay, this paper is really not working out for painting on, or like water-soluble stuff. But it didn't curl, it was just like, it was this sort of rough, I can't really explain it, like a fabric-y almost paper. And of course you're going to find these generally, you know, that kind of, if you're just looking for journals, you're going to find all kinds of, or books that you can, you know, write in. You're going to find all kinds of different papers. And this was more of a strange, odd, I can't really explain it, but an odd type of paper. Anyway, I persisted on, as you can see, and I just glued stuff in, and I collaged, and it was okay, but I would definitely not recommend a thing like this. But that's what happens when you're early on. I don't know if you can see, it even has a sort of a grain in it, like a, can you see? So it's almost like something you might wrap around gifts. But it was a good experience, you know? But you don't have to go through that experience of going, oh, this is not the right book. So yeah, and the same with these kind of books. Like these kind of books are more sketchbooks. Like they're thick-ish, normal sketchbooks that you know, just like kind of do sketches in. But if you really start to paint on it, now this was all like collage and kind of crazy stuff, and it made it thicker, and it was fine in the end. But again, this doesn't, with this type of paper, the normal, that's almost like copier paper, maybe a little bit thicker as a sketchbook thing, isn't brilliant for, it's quite thin, it's probably 80 grams, 90 grams, maybe 80 grams probably. Won't withstand a lot of heavy wet work. But if you're a drawer, if you're just illustrating, by the way, do you want to see something? Look what I found. This is a cartoon I made when I was 14 or 15. And I still have it. It was so cool. Look at it. It is about a little boy who had a little alien friend, and he was going to help his alien friend find his family by going in a rocket. The date is on here somewhere. Hold on. Where's the date? Okay. His name is Nicholas. Nicholas and Gummy. Gummy, and this was done in 1990, so I would have been 14. Is that right? Yeah, 14. Anyway, I just found that. Sorry, you're now getting a rambling turn. So yeah, that's cool. So this is the kind of, you know, when you go on, if you want to do work that is really withstands a lot of water, which is what most of us mixed media people do, then you don't want to go for sketchbooks. Just sketchbooks are, unless again you're going to just layer it, either, you know, layer it with gesso or whatever. So now let's come to some more popular, what's this? Hold on, let me just hold on. This is just a random little journal I found somewhere. Oh yeah. So this is, you know, this is actually exactly what I just tell you not to do. These are sketchbook, just sketchbook type paper. It's okay, but it's okay for doodling and little bits, but it's quite, again, it starts to buckle a lot. I do need to put a lot of gesso on beforehand. You know, like I said, not ideal. So I did do some nice art in these. Oh, I forgot about all this. Look at Dougie. Oh yeah. What's a blob art? Oh yeah. Sorry. I kind of just forgot about a lot of it. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of this type of paper. That's funny. Sorry. Anyway. Okay, so that's another sort of, anyway, you could do it on, you can definitely do lovely journal things, but the paper might become a problem. So that's really sort of what I want to say. Now, let me talk to you about awesome journals, very cool journals. Now, let's start with the Dylusions journal. Many of you might be familiar with it. It's sold by Diane Reevely, and actually many other people are reselling it. The cool thing about the Dylusions journal is it has a really lovely cover, and it comes with like a little envelope that and it opens like this, which is awesome. It's produced by Ranger, I think, and it's got a lovely feel to it. It's strong and lovely. Now, paper-wise, it's thicker. Okay, it's better than what I talked to you about. It's thicker than the sketchbook stuff, but it's still not watercolor paper. But look, as you can see, I have done lots of work on this. You know, and it's fine. It works fine. But again, my preferred paper is watercolor paper. Now, the interesting thing is they alternate between paper. So this is sort of a thinner sketchbooky paper, and this is thicker card, like the Moleskine paper. But again, I'm not a big fan of that, though. See, I have done work on it. It's fine, but it's not my preferred paper. So, I don't know. So yeah, so anyway, but again, you need to just try it out. The 3 types of paper really is the thickest watercolor, the really good, strong, thick watercolor paper. Then you get card, and card is often used. A lot of mixed media artists do like card, but because I'm a bit of an illustrator and like to have, basically the watercolor canvas, these journals are okay, but or the paper is okay, but and here it changes to different paper again. You see, it's quite interesting. Excuse me. So I like how I do like how it gives you many options of the different kinds of paper. So the Dylusions journal you can definitely check out. It's a good journal, but again, you know, and you might be fine with card. I wish that this journal came, and I think Diane told me that she is working on a journal like this in watercolor paper. So that would be like my awesomest. I'd be like, yeah. Okay, now then finally I found in my local art store, I found this journal, and this journal, woohoo! I shall show you is hot pressed by Saunders and Waterford, I think. And again, I don't know. Whenever I searched for this online, it's hard to find this journal online for some reason. I don't know why. That you can find the paper that they sell, the Saunders and Waterford, I think they are Waterford. Yeah, Saunders. Yeah, sorry, I don't remember the name. Saunders and Waterford paper. You can just buy it in blocks, but not so much in journals. The journal you have to hunt down a little bit. So when I saw it in the shop, I bought like 3 of them. So I have like 3 of these journals, and the cool thing is I'm 90% happy with the paper. However, and I like how it's sort of got this ruffly side here, you see? I love that. However, it's got a straight, still not, I'm a bit perfectionistic or just a bit demanding, I suppose, but there is something about this paper. It's hot pressed, it's great, but I don't know what it's got in there, but like a cotton or something, which means that it's slightly more absorbent than my other hot press paper. I.e., it absorbs the color or the paint so quickly that it also dilutes or diminishes the color sometimes, okay? So that's my only criticism. Plus, again, I don't like the layout. So this is more of a landscape shape rather than a portrait shape. And I was like, oh my god, why can't I ever find just a normal, ideal, you know, journal? Anyway, so I have done a lot of work in this one, as you can see, and for collaging, layering, it's perfect. It's perfect because it really withstands you can really do a lot of work on it, and it won't buckle, it won't freak out on you. You know, you see, I've done loads of layering, and I did acrylic strands where this is, you know, gesso, everything there, and it's fine. It works really well. Here, look at all the crazy, like lots of layers and sticking, and it's straight. It's not buckling or anything. So anyway, so this is definitely in my top 3 if I needed to. Let's say if I had to go to an island and I had to choose top 3 journals to take with me, this would be probably my number 3. Yeah, my number 3. So Waterford and Saunders is this one. Now, and here, the other day I was in a shop, also my local art store, and they just had these journals, A4, hot pressed, and I was like, oh my god, what is this? And they're like, yeah, and I don't even know. I think it's their brand, because there's no brand on it or anything, so I don't know whose it's by. I think it's by them. So I'm so sorry, I don't know. I don't know how to, I can't recommend it to you because I don't know who it's by. Anywho, but anyway, I wanted to share it with you, and I'll look into, if anyone's really desperate, wants to know where they can buy it, I'll contact the shop again and find out where, if this is actually theirs. It might be their own brand, because it doesn't have any branding in the inside or the outside or anything. But anyway, so look, the cool thing about these is, I have another one actually. Oh, this is a new one. This is my new one that I started. Hold on. I've got two, see? Oh, here. Ooh. So I already filled one up. I bought two. This is the same journal. And the cool thing is, I don't know if you can see, but the first page is kind of... oh no, they basically stuck a page... let me see this. This came off, but that's only because I've put lots of water on. Okay, this is stuck to the cover. So this is actually a page you can work on rather than a cardboard cover. And it lies flat and open, really lovely. And that's... yeah, so that I really like about it. It's portrait, it's got the hot pressed paper in it, more or less, that I like. It's also slightly more absorbent than the Dylusions paper that I first mentioned, but it comes close to being my ultimate favourite journal that I've so far ever had. And I don't know the brand or who made it. How useful is that to you, hey? Now, the other thing I wanted to talk to you about, because well, we're on journals, but Gracie, who I work with, sometimes said to me, oh, you know, I wonder sometimes how it works for you when you create art, and how, you know, does it just come natural? Does everything I create, am I happy with it straight away? Do I ever ruin something? How do you do it? And then I thought, you know what? I was talking to her, and I said, you know, look, let's go through this journal. I comment on everything. My thoughts, if I like it or not, where I'm at with it. So I thought I'd do the same for you guys, because, you know, it's already half an hour and you definitely want to know this, don't you? Anyway, so I made this page because I wanted to draw a face, and then Elliot, my child, said, cat, draw a cat. So I thought, okay, he calls it cat. So I made a cat face, and I'm okay with it. I'm not thrilled with this page, this spread, but it doesn't feel finished to me, but I'm okay with it. Then here, this is an interesting page. This is unfinished. I'm okay with it. Quite like it. It's not finished, like I said. And this page I worked on for a bit at some point, and then left it alone. Went on in the journal, and came back to it maybe weeks later, and still didn't finish it. That's usually problematic for me, because then it's hard for me to finish it if I leave it too long. But I'm okay with it, you know. I might come back to it again and finish this girl and do something with it, but I quite like it. Then, same story. So this one and this one had the same kind of scenario. This is not finished. I had done the face, didn't quite like it, wasn't too happy with it, moved on. A week or two later I came back and started doing a lot more ink sprays, and I liked the colour combination. That worked well for me. But it isn't finished by any standard. But you know, I can do something with this in the future perhaps. Then I came to this page and I absolutely loved it. So I made the kind of funny, quirky, big-headed little whimsy girl with and then the writing. And I wouldn't be like super happy with this spread, as in from a compositional point of view. But I liked her a lot. Loved her little face. I liked that I could write stuff, and I was really pretty happy with this. And I considered it finished, even though it wasn't totally like perfect or anything in my head. And then I struggled really hard with this page, because I was doing a face and the face just wouldn't work. I kept layering over it. It was really irritating, and I just kind of thought, ugh, leave it. So I left it and then came back to it, and now it's one of my most frustrating pages. Then, look, I did the sketch, didn't like the sketch, left it, moved on. And I might come back to it because I'm okay with it, but I don't know what to do with this now. So yeah, that's it. Then I made more big-headed girls, and I really liked them both, and I was really practicing the big-headed thing with the small bodies thing. I really liked that. So that was alright. Maybe a bit too much writing, but you know, the journal is all about just trying out stuff and playing with things. And then this was my inspiration. Oh no, did I do it before or after? I can't remember now. But this was for my first life book lesson for 2014. And I liked that a lot. That was great. Not, you know, journals don't, in my journals I don't get too perfectionistic. I like doing, you know, stuff that I like, but I don't faff too much with all the major details, stuff like that. I like this, yeah, I liked it. Then I did another face that I didn't like. I really didn't like that face. Still don't like the face. I don't know what to do with it. I might just glue it together. You know, I don't know. But it's frustrating. And then here, absolutely love this. I was inspired by, okay, that abstract artist, is it Twyla? Toozy? I don't know. I need to look into this, sorry. Absolutely wanted to play with abstract. Abstract is one of my things that I find really hard. So I play with it and try it in my journals and absolutely love these flowers. So really happy, don't want to change it, I'm happy. Then this happened. Where's the piece of paper? Anyway, I started doing just an abstract page, and this was okay, and I liked it all, and actually I liked this as well. So the 2 pages were okay. This spread was fine from an abstract point of view. Then the next page, which was this one and the other side, was terrible. And I decided, okay, I'm going to glue it down because it's terrible. I can't cope with seeing that every time. And what happened was, the gluing down didn't work, and it sort of made a real big buckle. And so I couldn't close the book down properly by gluing the pages together. So I was like, shoot, what am I going to do? So I tried to unpeel it after I glued it down so that I could get the buckle out. And then I couldn't unpeel it, of course, so I tore a lot of it off. And that's where I'm at now. So it's a very sad moment. And I was just like, oh well, it's life, move on. And then I made more flowers like these, and I really liked them. And I loved the little colours and how they melded, and it was really expressive and really fun. Then, oh yeah, I did a drawing of an octopus, just for, I don't know, just for the fun of it. That was fine. It was a bit too simple, or not so, I liked the illustration side of it, but it doesn't, this type of stuff doesn't inspire me from a depth perspective, layering I like a lot. But it was fine, it was just a trial. And then I did this, which was kind of interesting. What I wanted to do was kind of block sections, what is it called? Grids, that's it. Grids on both pages, and do something that related to each other, and then the colours didn't work for me, and then I really didn't like it, and then I left it alone. And then I did this, and I didn't like that either. It was okay. What I wanted to do then, I ended up I wanted to do this type of thing for her hair, and it just got all messy, and I didn't like her face very much, and it just all got, again, I got frustrated with it and moved on. This, I was going to do a bear hat and whatever, and then I didn't like that either much. So I struggled quite a lot in this journal, and that's sometimes frustrating. People get frustrated with journals, or a page, and then they just leave it alone and go, oh, I can't ever journal again, or I need to start a new journal. And I understand that feeling, because it's nice when you have a journal where everything is nice that you look at. But this was a particularly interesting journal, because I'll show you in a second. Then I started to get into pages that I really like doing. So here I started on a face with a person, and I actually really like it, but I kind of lost the passion for that particular day or the week, whatever. So I kind of left it as is, and I might come back to it later. And then the spray ink thing started happening. So, and because these pages are so nice and thick, you can spray on this and put water on it, and it won't really seep through. And it will seep through here though, so be careful with that. But anyway, that will happen. And I love this page. I'm like, oh my god, it's so amazing! All the colours and the dripping, and then became obsessed with dripping and spraying and all that sort of stuff. These are Dylusions spray inks. By the way, I have no affiliation with to Diane apart from I love her, and she's great. But I'm not getting any money for talking about her stuff. It's just really good stuff. So anyway, and yeah, and then so I was working with spray inks a lot, and then I loved what I did. This page came to be by, I initially was just doing lots of spray inks and splatter and a bit of stenciling, and then I thought, oh, this is cool. There was an empty space here, and I thought if I did a face here and it looks like she's got, the cosmos or something here, that'd be really psychedelic and cool. And that's how this came to be, and this is one of my favourite pages ever. So I really liked it. It could do with a little bit more, but generally speaking, I'm really happy with it. So then I continued with that spray, splashing and spray idea and faces and, and so combining that, doing a face and spraying and splashing stuff. I really like this as well. And then I did this, because I was inspired by something I saw on Pinterest and hated what I did. And then because I saw someone had done a tiger with splashing, because I was doing drips and splashing. I thought, oh my god, I gotta do that. And then it was terrible. So I didn't do that. And then here, I think I wanted to do blob art or something. I don't know. But what had happened was, I had some leftover paint, and I put it in there, and then I went to bed and I closed it. And then and then I tried to open it, but I couldn't because it had glued together, and so now there's a tear here. You see, and it got all mucky and horrible, so I just left that. And then I started looking at, working with negative space, and that really worked out well. So I try to, because I'm a bit of a coloraholic, and I tend to fill up all my entire pages usually. So I was really challenging myself to work with color and then negative space, and then not basically leaving white, and that's very hard. But I was happy, and I did that, and it was a really quick thing, and I really enjoyed it. Just a few elements here and there, and that was good. And then, and then I did this. Basically, I was writing, and then this is so not something I like, but I want to try and I will finish it maybe at some point. And then I just tried to block out the words that were standing out to me. And this is nowhere finished. It was very cathartic, but it's not something that is aesthetically pleasing to my eye. And then I continued on trying to work with splatter sprayings and negative space, and really loved the outcome of this. And I was so loving the simplicity and the minimalism of this that I did it in a lesson for life book as well. And then I continued on with spray inks and felt called to draw a mermaid, and loved this mermaid. I was really happy with it, and also using little bits of washi tape here and there. And then wanted to continue the theme with spray inks combining with drawing. So, and I kind of wanted another animal, because I often have animals accompanying my girls, but I stick with similar animals, and so I wanted to do a stag this time. And this stag here came out beautifully with against the spray inks, and then there's a fox on her head, and that was all very lovely. I enjoyed this. These pages are great. And here it's a bit cleaner, so this is a bit more murky and mixed, the sprays. And here the sprays are more separated out and don't overlap so much, or haven't been blending. And so again, I just continued the theme, but it became a slightly different thing. A bit more illustration, less free perhaps, but still I love this very much from a color perspective, so it's lots of contrast and back and forthing and stuff like that. And here's a lot of little washi tapes in the houses, which I loved, because I went out and went crazy on buying loads of washi, so then I wanted to use it. Yeah, and then we're here. So this is almost the end. I don't know what it's about, journals, but I don't tend to do the last page, or even the page before that. I don't know what that is. Probably don't like endings. Whoever is a therapist can probably figure that one out. So that's just a bit of a talk through of one of my journals, and so I just wanted to share that with you guys so that you can see how I struggle. Some of you think I would never struggle, I don't have any problems with anything. I struggle all the time. And so here I started my new one. But anyway, I love, on these pages so far, most of them I all love. So this is a sort of my attempt at doing abstract type flowers. And then I did another big headed girl with a little cute elephant, as my son calls it, elephant. And then we had this little girl, and then I recently did this, which was a lot more layered and crazy, but I quite like this. I mean, I need to do, this is not quite finished, I need something here. And then I started on this here. I started to do more line work, so that's another thing that started happening for me in my other work. Oh yeah, and then I did this girl here. So these are all, I'm pretty happy with everything I've done so far on this other journal. Not that many problems so far. But I do have problems all the time. So just so you know. Now, and what else? So, I'll show you the really large one. So that journal that I just, two more things, and then I'll stop talking because this has been long. Two more things. I have been sent a sketchbook by Stillman and Burns, or several sketchbooks actually, and I've not had a chance yet to work on them yet. And their paper is different kinds of card again. So you've got different ones by Stillman and Burn, and again it depends on how heavy the wetness of how wet you want to make your page. But anyway, look how massive this is and how cool this is. Woohoo! I love it so much. It's a massive journal. It's beautiful, and it's got the same kind of paper in it. I've only done two pages so far. It's just so awesome. I love it. Absolutely love it. So yeah, So these are basically it's the exact same type of paper, but paper journal, but just larger, double the size. So that's another one. I love working in these really big journals. And then, so basically my top #1 journal ever used is this one. And I made it myself. So, it's really lovely. I made this, I bound this journal myself. And I used the paper that I mentioned earlier in the video. And I just made my own pages. And I used the exact paper that I love. And so, I've loved, this is one of my most favorite journals. I love that it's bound. That's the thing, it's beautiful to bind your own journals, guys. If you can do it, because it's so precious. It's so special when you've done your own journal binding. It makes it feel so homemade, but still really beautiful. And then you can also use the exact paper you love. So that's what I recommend. My top recommendation is bind your own one. This one, when was I doing this? In 2011. 2010, 2011. So it I could do everything I wanted because I knew this paper best. It was take all the layering, it took all my waterworks. It took all the, I didn't really finish this journal again either much. Show you, look, this is the last page. I don't really do last pages. Even here I kind of gave up, I didn't finish these. It's quite cool. So yeah, so that's more or less my big journal on my video on journals. So leave me. I mean, there are more journals that I haven't tried out yet. I know that Strathmore in the States do lots of journals, and I don't tend to order them because I need to pay tax on them when they come in, and it's quite expensive. But again, because I've got what I want here. But I hear that they are a lot of the mixed media artists really love those. Then there are a few other journals that I've obviously not used before. So if you have any comments, about journals, let me just look at you while I talk. If you have any comments about journals that you want to share with me, or with the group, or with anyone who's watching it, leave a comment below and tell me, what is your favourite journal? Or what is your favourite type of paper? And it'd be interesting to know. Alright everyone, thank you very much for listening to this very long video. 45 minutes of me talking about journals and paper. I hope you enjoyed it, and I shall try and update my YouTube channel a bit more often. Okay, right. See you some other time. Have a lovely week. Bye.